Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be talking about Athena, the Greek goddess. But before that, I wanted to share some good news with you guys that I've received. I have just been accepted to start training for priesthood in pagan practices. My goal is to conduct authentic ancient rituals. Well, mostly authentic. I want to get as close as I can without having to go past my code of ethics. I want to keep to that. But I'm very excited. My training starts at the next full moon. But back to Athena. Her birth, as I mentioned in the last video, was far from usual, even for a goddess. Zeus, fearing that his child would overthrow him, swallowed his pregnant wife whole, and some years later Athena sprouted from Zeus's forehead, fully grown. Athena is traditionally seen as the goddess of wisdom. However, she rules over many domains. She brings courage to those fighting in battle and leads them with her spear. She also is a master tactician. Her techniques are far superior than that humans could do. She is the bringer of democracy and law to Athens. She is also the goddess of weaving and inspiration. One of my favorite myths about Athena is actually her being the goddess of weaving. It is about her and Arachnia. You may have heard this myth. I may tell it a little differently. There's very many endings to this myth. So Arachnia was a beautiful young woman who weaved on her loom all day in the sun, and at night she spun silk all night. One day, an old woman comes to her residence and asks her where she learned to weave such beautiful masterpieces. And Arachnia then says, "I just picked up a loom and I began weaving. No one taught me." And the old woman says, "Well, surely the goddess Athena has blessed you with the ability to weave." Arachnia, being young and prideful, says, "No, ha! Athena could not weave as well as I." Athena hears this while she's working on her loom on Mount Olympus and becomes enraged, but she decides to give Arachnia a chance to give credit where credit is due, so she disguises herself and comes to visit Arachnia. When she reaches Arachnia, she then asks Arachnia the same questions that the old woman asks. "Where did you learn to weave such beautiful masterpieces?" "I taught myself," Arachnia says. "Well, surely the goddess Athena has helped you." "No, the goddess Athena could never create work like mine." Hearing this, Athena casts off her cloak, shows Arachnia her full glory of a goddess, and demands that they have a competition. The one who loses will never be able to touch a loom again. So they leave their separate ways and come back a few days later. By this time, the news of the competition has spread, and there is a huge congregation waiting to see them weave. Arachnia begins weaving. She picks out her best silks and begins weaving the story of the gods and tells them of all their glory, and she tells it well, almost completely accurate. During this, Athena pulls the blues from the sky itself and the greens from the trees of the mountain, and everything we can see in nature she uses as her colors as her thread for weaving. And she weaves the story of creation and the gods' glory. Athena, seeing this, Arachnia, seeing that the crowd has left her loom and knows she has been beat, hangs herself. Athena, seeing Arachnia hang herself, decides to save Arachnia by turning her into a spider so she can weave without ever needing a loom. And that is my favorite version of it. There's other versions where Arachnia wins and Athena is very vengeful and casts her into a spider until she can weave the story that the gods don't even know about. So there's other alternate endings for that story. Athena's wisdom and strategy has even bested other gods. There's one story from when Cercops was king, who's a mythical king that's used a lot in Greek mythology. This is before Athens was named, and Cercops comes to the gods and asks which one will be the patron of his city. So Athena and Poseidon both want to be the patron, and they go down to Earth, to Athens, and Poseidon creates a well for the city. However, from the well only salt water came, and they could not drink it, so he lost the bet. Athena slams her spear into the ground and creates a divot in the ground, and in that divot she places an olive tree, an olive seed, which grows to be one of the most sacred groves in Greece. And she thus becomes the patron of the city Athens. Poseidon, being sore of his loss, cursed Athens so that they would always have a shortage of water, and to this day they still have a shortage of water. So that's just a little bit of Athena. If you have any questions, if there's a story that you'd like me to go over, just message underneath this video. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you next week.